What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back. This is gonna be your review for Bling Empire Season 1, Episode 6. So, listen. I keep telling y'all that Anna is my spirit animal and she is my level of petty. So, Anna was having a yoga class at her house. She invited um um Kane over and somebody else, and they were doing their yoga, and the yoga instructor was like this big buff guy, and they were real serious doing yoga. And the doorbell rings, and who's at the door? Christine. But is Christine dressed for yoga? Christine is not dressed for yoga. Christine is dressed for cocktails. She's got the gold lame boots, the Mary J. Blige boots up to her thigh, honey. She's got the outfit on. She's got a gift for um Anna, and Anna is playing like she has no idea why Christine would show up like that. She was like, and Christine, when she opened the door, Christine was like, Anna, do you always just wear yoga outfits and diamonds? Anna was like, mm-hmm. And Kane, and so as they're going through yoga, so Anna gives her something to change into. Anna was like, oh yeah, so she gives her a little outfit to change into, honey. Listen, I don't know about wearing nobody else's leggings, yoga pants, but I'm gonna assume they clean. I'm just gonna assume that they clean. Um, they get to doing yoga, and next thing you know, the yoga instructor done turned into damn near a scripper. Okay, he grinding up on Christine. He's showing her all these yoga moves that I ain't never seen before. Now listen, I done took yoga a day or two in my life, and I wasn't good at it. Okay, but I know that those weren't real yoga poses. And Kane is in the back cracking up because about halfway through this, Kane says, "Oh, I get what's happening here. Anna set this whole thing up to embarrass Christine." And baby, it was hilarious. Because the funniest thing about Anna is she does not let on that she's doing what she's doing. She ain't smiling. She ain't smirking. She's sitting there like, "Oh, you don't know that yoga pose? Oh, you've never done yoga like this? Oh, okay, yeah." I was like, Anna, you are my spirit animal. I strive to get to your level of petty. But to Christine's defense, she ain't let him see her sweat. She went along with the get along. So the two of them, listen, their chess game is something to behold. Okay. Then we have Kevin and Kane. Kevin is chanting in his draws. Kane is like, that is disrespectful. He said, when you are chanting, that you should be showing reverence. You should, it's like, he's like, would you go to church in your draws? Like, that's just not. And he said, I mean, come on, Kevin, use some common sense. Kane has found 500 ways to call Kevin dumb. I mean, including, Kevin, you're dumb. Like, he's been blunt. He's been a roundabout, but I feel like in every episode he has found a way to call Kevin dumb. So Kevin is looking for he's looking for his parents, and so he got the information from the I guess the orphanage where he was left off in Korea, but it basically didn't give him any information. I mean, it told him that it said he was abandoned, but it doesn't give him any information, and it even goes on to say this is a closed adoption. Like, there won't be any information about the parents forthcoming. Like, there's no way you can get it. And Kane was like, well, do you want to find your parents? And Kevin was like, yeah. He was like, all right, well, you need to go to Korea. And I feel like Kane would help him. Like, I ain't saying that Kane gonna, I don't know, but I feel like Kane would help him out. So later on in the episode, we see Kevin get hypnotized and try to remember maybe some of his subconscious thoughts and some of his subconscious memories from when he was a baby. And it got very emotional for him. And ultimately what he realized was that his mother did not give him up out of recklessness. Like, she was afraid, she was scared, and she gave him up because she didn't feel like she had a choice. So maybe there was some sort of scandal involved or what have you. But so I think that helped him, made him feel a little bit better about the situation. Because of course, ultimately, when you're put up for adoption, I think the biggest thought is that you don't. My parents didn't love me, or they didn't want me. And I think it helps him because he came out of that sort of feeling like it's not so much that they didn't want me, but she was just afraid. She was just scared. She was in a really bad place. Now, Cherie is dealing with her mom's loss, and she's kind of having a hard time getting over it. And Kane is helping her through it. He's telling her, listen, keep some of your mother's things, but you really have got to you got to, you stand in your mom's house. You're surrounded by all your mom's belongings. Like, you need to, you're embedding yourself in your grief. And so, she said, well, I just want to make sure that my mom is good, that she's in a better place, that she's at peace, And he said, she is, she's good to go. So she ends up having a reading with Tyler Henry. And you guys, Tyler Henry is like the reader for the stars. It's like a young guy, and he does these readings. And he even had a show on E for a while where he would do celebrity readings. I don't know if he still has the show or not. I don't watch it like that. But so he did a reading for her, and he basically told her that, your mom is here, and, pay attention to your daughter. If you see your daughter looking off into the sunset or looking weird or doing some weird things, then your mom, that's your mother's way of communicating with you, that letting you know she's okay. I feel like Cherie took it to a different extreme, because Cherie took it like, oh, my mom is my daughter, and she's been reincarnated as my daughter. She even asked Kane about it, and Kane was like, because they believe in reincarnation, and so he was like, that may very well be your mom. But Cherie took it to the extreme extent. She was like, oh, well, maybe, not her daughter, the son, the baby she just had. Talking about, well, maybe I need to stop breastfeeding, because is that like I'm putting my breast in my mom's mouth? And Kane was like, I don't think that's how that works. And even her husband, well, not her husband, child, her boyfriend, he was like, yeah, I don't think that's how that works. But he was telling her, listen, your mom is giving you signs that she's good, and she's here with you. Like, she ain't gone nowhere. She's here with you. Kelly and Drew, child. Kelly invited Drew over to the house. Kelly said, I have my angel and my devil on my shoulder. I have the Kelly, you need to leave that man alone. He's no good for you. Da 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 da. And then I got the Kelly, the devil that's like, girl, gone, girl, and get your man. And she said, usually Kelly number 2 wins. I love him. I miss him. I want to be with him. And, I convinced myself that he's changed and that he's going to move on, be a better person. And so, child, she invited him over. They got to talking. He told her he loves her and he wanted her back. Next thing you know, they was in the bed, child. They was in the bed. Okay? Now, the next day, or maybe a couple of days later, however it went down, the crew ended up going to the beach. And they had a good time at the beach, child. They had Chanel paddles to play on the beach. They raced in the sand. They had a photo shoot. They had a good time. They did what you do at the beach. They had a good time. And Kevin ended up having a conversation with Kelly. Now, Kelly lied to Kevin Kelly didn't tell Kevin that she slept with Andrew, but she friend zoned Kevin, and Kevin was like, well, dang, he was like, I ain't think the friend zone was coming that quick. Like, daggone, like, I thought maybe I'd get a couple of more dates out of it. But of course, she didn't tell the crew that the reason why, she got friend zoned, was because, the reason why she friend zoned them is because her ass got back with Drew, child. So Kevin has a conversation with Kim, because remember, Kim is looking for her dad. And so she had a conversation with him. I think Kevin and Kim might end up together. I think we've gotten past the whole penis pump situation. I think they'll be cute together. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But he went out to lunch with her and her mom, and they had a conversation, and he said, I went to the hypnotist, and yes, I really wanted to find my parents, but, in talking to the hypnotist, what I realized is, my mom is my mom. My family is who raised me. My family, those are the people who love me, That's who wanted me. That's who loved me. That's who raised me. And yes, and I forgive my mom. You know, I forgive my birth parents. You know, I forgive them. I've let go of that. I've let go of whatever thoughts I had, you know, anger, abandonment, whatever. And I'm going to focus on the fact that I was born, or I was raised by a great family. My parents loved me. It could have been worse. They took me, and I had a great life. And that's what I'm going to choose to focus on. And you know, I don't know how that's going to necessarily affect Kim, because Kim's situation is a little bit different. It's not that she was adopted or anything. Her dad just abandoned her. So her situation is a little bit different. Like, she knew her dad, you know, and all of that good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But that was Bling Empire. This episode didn't really have a whole lot of ins and outs. It really mainly focused on a lot with Cherie and her mom, and Kevin and his adoption situation. But let you know, we'll get back on it with episode 7. Talk to y'all later. Peace.